Hey guys, what's up? Dicey Raw here with our Tuesday rant. Now today's rant is going to be about doctors. Okay, so many of you should know that a couple of, well, according to when this video is posted, a week or two ago, I went to the emergency room with this really bad stomach pain. And so I'm just going to run through the story of what happened for you. So, me and Brian were watching Netflix, and we were watching Supernatural, and all of a sudden, I had this really, really bad pain in my stomach, and it, came out of nowhere. My stomach was, dully bothering me, and then all of a sudden, it was, bam, so bad that I was crying and could not barely walk to the car. That was how bad it was hurting me. And so we get into the car and we rush to the emergency room because, with my gallbladder bothering me, there is a chance of it getting infected or, rupturing depending on how bad it gets. And so we were running to the emergency room and I'm freaking out because I felt like I was dying. It hurt so bad. I couldn't breathe. It was trying to breathe was hurting my stomach. It was something was jabbing my stomach every time I tried to breathe in. And we get to the emergency room, and I get to the little window to talk to the lady and tell the lady what's going on. Well, by this time, I'm bent over trying to talk to her and tell her, what the problem is. And she's like, okay, can you sign this form? And, in my head, I'm like, okay, whatever. So I sign the form, and I do that, but I'm like, why is this necessary? I am in visible pain. When you go to the emergency room, most of the time the people that you see in the emergency room are people who do not have insurance or, like myself, have Medicaid, and I don't have a family doctor. So if something was to happen, I would have to go to the emergency room because I don't have a family doctor. And when you go to the emergency room, most of the time, you do not see people that are screaming or withering in pain. And that was the epiphany of me. That was exactly what I was doing. I was screaming. It was noticeable that I was in pain. And it was really, really bad. So then Brian puts me in a wheelchair and he rolls me. And the lady's like, hey, can you go pee in this cup for me? And then we're going to get some blood work. And I'm like, okay. So I'm trying to get myself up to go to the bathroom to pee in a cup, and I could barely walk, and I'm really hurting. So then I take that to the lady, and then she's like, okay, go sit back in the waiting room, and we'll be back in a minute to get your blood. Okay, so whatever. So finally, they come and get me. I don't know how long it was, but the total amount of time that I was in the waiting room, total, was an hour and a half. There were people going up before me that had, sores on their hands and stuff like that. People that were not crying, that were not screaming, that were not in pain, not in visible pain. And, it really makes me mad that this is what? When somebody comes into the emergency room and they tell you, okay, I could have a possible ruptured gallbladder, and you make them sit in the waiting room for an hour and a half, do you know all the things that could happen in that hour and a half? I felt like I was dying, and I kept begging nurses, please help me. I'm hurting so bad. Please get me a bed. Please, I need to see the doctor. And, they were just ignoring me. They wouldn't even look at me. And finally, they took my blood, and it had subsided, but it had not gone away. And the guy was asking me what I had come in there for, and I said, I'm having pain in my stomach. And he said, are you feeling nauseous? And I said, yes. And he said, okay, well, let's check your temperature and all that stuff. So he did that, and then he took my blood, and oh God, I hate needles. Anybody who knows me, they know that I hate taking medicine, and I hate needles. I just don't like that kind of stuff. And, so anyway, the blood culture came back, and the urine sample came back, because I guess they wanted to make sure it wasn't an ectopic pregnancy. Well, I'm so happy that it wasn't, because if it was, in the amount of time that I would have freaking sat in that freaking waiting room, I would have been dead, because all they cared about was doing the freaking tests. And I know that they have to do the test, but damn, I mean, really? Really? So, they get it back, not pregnant, but I have a UTI. Okay, great. Wow, well, that's not causing my problems. That's not causing my pain. I mean, it may be causing a little bit of it, but it's not causing all the pain that I was going through. So then finally, they get me back to a bed, and by the time they get me back to the bed, I'm talking, okay, I'm a pale person. Okay, I'm really pale, and the reason why I'm pale is because I do not tan. But they got me back to that room, and the look on those nurses' faces scared the shit out of me. Because they looked at me like I was knocking on death's door, and I'm not fucking lying to you. They were scaring the literal shit out of me. Brian said my lips were blue. I couldn't even get out of the wheelchair to get into the bed. I could not stand up. Like, I could not move my legs. I couldn't do anything. I was just like, I felt like I was dying. And these people are like doing, I need to calm down. But I was just so aggravated because I had been screaming for an hour and a half to these people that I needed help. And they ignored me, and to the point to where I literally had to go up to the desk, tell them that I was feeling nauseous, and look like I was about to literally fucking die before they put me in the back room. Like, how ridiculous is that? How stupid is that? So they get me into the bed, and they set me up on fluids, and they give me antibiotics, and they give me medicine, and nauseous medicine to help with the pain. So the pain subsides. Finally. And after the pain subsides, they come in and they ask me how I'm doing, and I'm doing pretty okay. I was doing fine at that point, you know, but I'm still freaking out, like, what's going on? You gave me pain medicine. That does not mean that the problem is solved. So then they come in, and this guy does an x-ray with a little x-ray machine, and he asked me if I have had any trouble breathing. And I tell him yes, that I was having trouble breathing, that I couldn't, and like they're asking me questions, and it's like becoming hard to form words because I couldn't breathe. I was trying to breathe and talk at the same time, sorry. And it got really frustrating because they kept talking to me, and like I knew they had to ask me questions and stuff, but I couldn't answer them barely because every like word that would come out of my mouth would be like broken and like half a sentence, like if that. And so he did the x-ray, and then he left, and he said that they would have my results soon, and that they would come and get me and do a CT scan. When they came and got me for my CT scan, and they did that, and then they put me back in the room, and then they said it would be about 45 minutes. Well, I don't know how long it was, but we got in the emergency room about a little bit before 1 o'clock, and we didn't leave until about 6 o'clock, so we were there for like 5 hours total, you know, and then the doctor, oh god, this is what kills me. He comes in my room, and he's like, we got your results back, and the only thing we can find wrong with you is that you have gallstones and a UTI, and that's it. That's all we can find. And I've had gallbladder attacks before. I've had gallbladder attacks last for 12 hours or more. I've had them be back to back, day after day after day of gallbladder attacks. And this has been the worst pain I have ever felt in my entire life. And I have a doctor coming into my face telling me that all he can find is gallstones and a UTI. And that kind of really made me mad because, first of all, if this is a gallbladder attack, it's morphing into something completely different, and this shit needs to be taken out now before it gets serious. And I doubt that a UTI is going to make me feel like I can't breathe. So, you know, I mean, and I have bladder infections all the time. I cannot seem to get rid of them. No matter how much water I drink, how frequently I pee, it doesn't matter. They're just going to be there. It's something I have gotten used to. And so they sent me up for antibiotic and pain medicine and nausea medicine because the pain medicine causes nausea, which is, oh, that's just great, right? Like, everybody loves nausea. So, he's like, well, we're going to discharge you. And, like, I'm like, okay, like, smiling in his face. But when he leaves, I just want to wring his neck because I came into this emergency room with pain. Pain so bad that I was screaming for people to help me because I literally felt like I was going to die. And then I have them saying, okay, well, we're going to discharge you because there's nothing wrong with you. Are you fucking kidding me? People don't have pain like that for no reason. Like, this is where they took my blood, and I do have a little bruise. Excuse me. And, you know, I've been on the antibiotics since, and they're making me feel like shit. I don't know, I'm just aggravated. I'm aggravated that I got sent home when, you know, I know that he's like, well, he told me that my gallbladder was not infected, it wasn't swollen, nothing weird was going on with it. But I'm telling you guys, oh, I just dropped my pen. Damn it. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to be having problems with that thing soon, and it's going to have to come out. Thankfully, by the time you watch this video, I have already had my my appointment. So, by the time you watch this video, I will have already had my surgery appointment, and I will let you know and get updates to you as soon as I can about that. You know, but it just kind of pained me, you know, because it's so aggravating to go to a place of medicine for people to help you, and you feel like they're not helping you. And that's what I felt like. I felt like I was being tortured in that waiting room and begging people to help me, and like nobody would even look at me. Everybody was just like I wasn't even there. And there was even people in the emergency room, like other patients, that were like, is all that really necessary? And I'm like, now, if you came into the emergency room screaming, I am not going to look at you and be like, oh my God, she needs to shut up. Because you're in pain. That's what the emergency room is for. You're supposed to go to the emergency room when you have an emergency. That's what it's for. I just don't know. I just don't like stupid people. I just can't stand stupid people. So, they go to discharge me. And when they had stuck me to take my blood, there was also a catheter put there too for an IV so that they could kill two birds with one stone. And so when he took the needle out, the catheter stayed in there for them to give me like my medicine and my IV fluids and the antibiotics and all that kind of stuff. And when it was time for us to leave, she put it out of my arm, and oh my God, that thing hurt. But when she did that, the pain came like that. It came right back. And then I was back to cold sweats, nausea, just about threw up. My back was spasming. I don't know what in the hell was going on. I'm telling you, it was the worst pain in my life. I have never felt something like that. Ever. My stomach felt like it was being ripped open, and everything was like burning all over everywhere. It was terrible. I don't know what in the hell that was, but if that was a serious gallbladder attack, I'm telling you, hopefully by the time you watch this video, I will have a date on when that shit is coming out, because... But my rant is about doctors and them drugging you up and sending you home. Like, I don't want to be drugged up and sent home. I want you to fix the problem. And I completely understand that they're an emergency room. They're just there to patch you up, sort of, kind of. But, I don't know. If somebody comes in, if I was to see somebody and I was a nurse and they come in like that, I am not going to want to send them home. I'm going to advise to that doctor to keep them. Because what if I would have gone home later? They had to give me more medicine and a muscle relaxer before I left because my back was just spasming like hell. I could not do anything. They were like, okay, you're ready to go. I mean, I can't get up. I can't leave. I need you to do something. I can't walk. And, so yeah, that was my wonderful doctor's appointment, or not doctor's appointment, my doctor's trip. That was what that was. That was not fun. It was not for attention. It was a serious thing. Like, I felt like I was gonna die. Like, I'm seriously telling Brian, if they put me on if they put me on life support, don't you dare let them take me off. I was telling him everything. I was letting him know everything before they even took me back there, and people were just snickering and laughing, and it was not funny. I did not find that funny at all. I literally felt like I was knocking on death's door, and he was coming to get me. And you know, people thought it was funny in the emergency room. Apparently, it's funny to fucking be sick. I don't know. People just, they just irk me. They just really, they bother me. Like, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. It's like the worst thing you can do is like laugh at somebody when they're like, and like I had nothing to lose. Hell, I thought I was dying, so I got up and punched him in the face and be like, oh, oops, sorry. Sorry, I can't control my arms. Anyway, that was my rant for today. On this weird, wacky Tuesday. Don't forget to come back for Wednesday's Let's Play, which is actually a really good game that I got lined up for you guys. It's not going to be Jack and Jill, which I do enjoy. I think that's going to be next week. But, yeah, check out Wednesday's video. It's obviously not going to be in the description below because this video comes before Wednesday's video. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm talking a lot, talking too much. Yeah, that's pretty much my rant for today. It was about doctors and how, you know, sometimes I feel like they just are out to get a paycheck. Like they really, sometimes I feel like they don't really care to help you. I don't know. I was begging people to help me and people were just ignoring me, so. Oh, and another thing. They told me that they knew I had had gallstones for a long time. I would like to know how they got that information. Because the last time I went to the doctor, and it was the same doctor that I saw last time, the very first time I started having gallbladder problems, and I didn't know what it was. He diagnosed me as having heartburn, wrote me a prescription for heartburn pills, and sent me home. What? And you know what's stupid? Is me and my mom had discussed the problems that I was having prior to me going to the emergency room, and she kept telling me, oh, that sounds like your gallbladder. That sounds like what I had when my gallbladder was bothering me. And when I went up to the emergency room, not this time, but when it was all going down first, I told him, I said, my mom's a nurse and she thinks that it's my gallbladder. He completely ignored me. He did not do a ultrasound, nothing. He did an x-ray, and he told me that there was nothing. And so then I get there this time, and he's telling me, well, we've known you've had gallstones for a long time. Well, y'all didn't tell me that. Y'all never informed me of that, because if y'all told me, I'm telling you, a year ago, I would have planned for surgery and got that shit out. If I knew that I was going to have to go through the hell that I have gone through, I would have gotten it removed. But nobody told me. Nobody told me that I had gallstones. Brian was there last time for that, too. And nobody said a damn thing about gallstones to me or to him or nothing. What was wrote on my thing that I got when you're discharged was that it was heartburn and that I needed to stop eating what was acidic foods or something like that, or foods that were spicy, or foods with a lot of something. It was stupid, but it was not what was wrong with me. I do not have heartburn. I didn't even have heartburn when I was pregnant. Like, what? Anyway, that is my rant for today. If you've had problems with doctors feeling like, and you feel like sometimes that they don't care as much as they should, they're just out for the paycheck, leave me a thumbs up. If you like this video and you agree with some of the things that I had to say, leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and check me out on all my social media. And it's been nice hanging out with you guys on this wonderful Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you check me out tomorrow for that cool Let's Play. Trust me, it's cool. Bye!